The weather always stinks here in Southern California, but we'll put up with it for another few days. The Rockies taking on the Angels tonight in Anaheim. Tomorrow's an off day, and then it's 4 down in San Diego. The Rockies trying to erase the memory of a difficult 8th inning last night. After DJ LeMahieu hit that grand slam, the Rockies had a rough bottom of the 8th. They come in at 71-60. They're a game behind Arizona. The Angels at 64-68. They snapped a 6-game losing streak with the victory over Colorado last night. We always talk about it throughout the season. There are always going to be some tough losses, and the resiliency of baseball players should be emulated by others in life, right? Baseball players learn early on, you do have to be resilient.
You do. You might get knocked down. You might get a punch in the gut, as you like to say, for a baseball game, but you get back up and you go at it again today. And I mentioned it just a moment ago. Down in the locker room today, the guys, you wouldn't have known unless you watched that game yesterday what had happened. There was no sort of, empathy or feel sorry for us down there. They're just looking forward to tonight's game.
Yeah, guys bounce back. It's just part of the culture of baseball, and I think sometimes fans wouldn't believe that. They think, everything's apocalyptic when you lose a tough game. This is going to be the game that undoes the season. It could happen in April or May, and that's not the case. And hopefully they go out and play a good baseball game tonight. And it always begins with the starting pitcher, and as we talked about with Kyle Freeland going tonight, that is a good thing. Kyle's been outstanding this year. There's Charlie Blackmon. We'll give you a look at the lineup tonight for Buddy Black. It'll be the final game against an American League club this year. The Rockies are 12-7 against the AL. The 12 wins, a franchise best against the junior circuit. Charlie will lead off, then DJ, who hit the grand slam last night. He had 2 other hits as well. Cargo also had 3 hits last night. He'll bat 3rd. Nolan will bat 4th, and then Trevor in the 5 spot. Gerardo Parra's in there in left field, and Ian Desmond will bat 7th. He's DHing, you'll notice. Ryan McMahon will get an opportunity to swing the bat. He'll be at first base. And Chris Iannetta, who caught late in the game after pinch hitting for Tony Walters yesterday, who also homered, by the way, will bat 9th. And there is Noe Ramirez. He's a Los Angeles area kid. He was originally drafted in the 4th round after a career at Cal State Fullerton by the Boston Red Sox, and a year or so ago claimed off of waivers by the Angels from Boston. He is in a unique position tonight. He's one of a handful of players ever to have earned a save one game and started the next day. Now, this is a bullpen day, so take a good look at Ramirez's numbers. They won't be there for long.
It's the 15th different pitcher to make a start this year for the Angels. Second most to Tampa Bay, who has done it 16 times. And it's just 2 off the club record for the Angels back in 1967. We saw him last night, as you said, making his first career save. This is his 104th ball game in the big leagues. First time ever that he's going to make a start. Fastball, slider, changeup. And just based on what I saw last night, a lot of fastballs and sliders from him. So I think tonight, the guys, you kind of go back old school because you don't know what you're going to get all night long. You just go back to see ball, hit ball.
Well, here's our Rocket Mortgage breakdown. Players to earn a save and start the next game. It happened a year ago with Erasmo Ramirez of Tampa Bay. And then you have to go back to 1983, the last time it occurred. Andy Messersmith had such an occurrence with the Dodgers back in late May of 1975. Jim Lonborg, that's another big name for the 70s. He did it in May of 1972. Some guys that got a save in one end of a doubleheader and then started the other end. But it's a small group, and it has to be a situation like this where, because of injuries, a slot comes up and you don't have a starter, and so you say, okay, it's going to be a Johnny Holstaff, as they say in baseball. It's going to be a bullpen day. And Ramirez goes right out of the stretch, which obviously relievers do, and the first pitch is down low. It's a curveball.
And that's right now, first thing out of his hand is an off-speed pitch. You don't see that in a normal ball game when you got a regular starter going out there.
That's on the corner.
Angels are off tomorrow, so that's part of the reason why Mike Scioscia can do this with a bullpen day.
This ball's clubbed to right center field, and it is going to run to the wall. Extra bases for Charlie. Good start. He's into second with a double. He got a hanger, and he ripped it into the gap.
And he stayed back on it. Able to stay back, wait for the slider. And with velocity, more like a curveball, but they listed as a slider. That one stayed up, keeps the hands back and powders it to right center field. Cole Calhoun thought he was going to be able to get to it, but couldn't. That 20th double this year for Charlie.
So here's LeMahieu. First career grand slam yesterday, last night in the 8th inning to give the Rockies a 7-5 lead.
And asking DJ today, I said, you know, off the bat, did you know it was gone? He goes, yeah, I did. And for a second, though, I was a little afraid that it might hook foul. But then I realized, no, it's going to be okay. And what a huge slam at the time it was for the Rockies.
That's fouled off.
3 of the Rockies have hit grand slams this year. Nolan, Trevor, remember the one down in Arizona by Tapia?
That's right.
Those are the 4.
And this is lined to right. Charlie is going to go back and tag. He'll move up 90 feet. We're talking about the importance of that and just how valuable DJ is. And when you know the game, you realize how frequently, with a leadoff guy at second, he gets that man over another 90 feet. So here's Cargo, a chance to drive in a run. He swung the bat effectively again last night. He had 3 singles and 5 at-bats.
Well, one of those singles was the one he ripped off the glove of Albert Pujols. Could have been a double, possible triple for Cargo.
Yeah, knocked the glove literally off the hand of Pujols. Cargo had a pitch to hit there. Up and in.
The Angels are going to be playing back on the, you know, up the middle with Simmons, and then on the right side, of course, they're going to be way back. Taylor Ward's playing even with the bag at third base.
That's upstairs.
I just wonder what it was like for Ramirez, because we found out about 5 or 10 minutes after the game last night that he was starting today. What it was like for him after he saved the game yesterday, knowing he was going to start today.
Look out. Yeah.
I mean, that's just
a little
you
different.
know, well, especially for a relief pitcher, because they're creatures of habit. They like to know when they're pitching and what inning and, you know, what their role is. And then to find out, wait a second, my role's not going to be late in the game or even in the 6th inning. It's going to be to start the game. Well, they've been doing it down in Tampa for a little bit, but the first time I've witnessed it this year or forever.
One and 2 on Cargo. He's had 9 at-bats against the Angels this year. He's got 5 hits. Angels have won 2 of 3 against Colorado this year, and overall they've won 11 of their last 12 against the Rockies. And Cargo drives this high and deep right field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. 2-0 Colorado. That's a good start.
Great start.
15th of the year for Cargo. Just a real patient at bat.
Well, he got 2 fastballs that he had fouled off. And then just like Charlie, he waited back on the curveball or the slider, the slurve. And he kind of dropped it, thought, I got this one. Rockies are 42-15 when they score first, so a good sign to jump out early, 2-0.
Way inside on Nolan.
That's the 13th home run that Ramirez has allowed on the season. I'm going to clarify, so it's his 14th home run, Drew, because he had 13 of them as a reliever. So now that he's starting tonight, just his first as a starter. Doesn't matter, though. 230 career home runs for Cargo.
Let's pull foul by Nolan. 2 balls and a strike.
Jim Johnson warming up down in the Angels pen. The Angels have 9 relievers in their bullpen. Maybe they're going to go.
They may all play tonight.
Yeah, 1 an inning and then see what happens. Last night, excuse me, they used 6 relievers.
Last night turned into a bullpen night as well. They got 4 innings plus out of Despaigne. And Nolan strikes out, 2 outs. 2-0 Colorado. Trevor coming up. Here's the look at the Angels defensively. They've been solid all year. Here's Marte playing first base for Pujols tonight. Andrelton Simmons at shortstop. One of the game's best at that position. 3 Gold Gloves. Rene Rivera doing the catching tonight. And that slider's in there for a strike. Trevor's 1 for 1 against Ramirez. Faced him back in Denver. 3rd appearance for Ramirez against the Rockies this year. So Story with that stolen base the other day became the 16th shortstop all time to produce a 20 home run, 20 stolen base season. That's going to be a regular occurrence for him.
I know it was a point of emphasis for him coming into spring training this year. He wanted to steal more bases.
Tulo did it once in a Rockies uniform. Again, we're celebrating Troy tonight. And the Rockies have a guy on their roster, one of Story's teammates, who's actually done it 3 times.
Let me see.
Pretty easy one, huh?
Matt? Cargo?
Shortstop.
Oh, shortstop. I'm sorry. I thought you were.
Yeah. Ian Desmond.
Desi, yeah.
Ian Desmond 3 times in a Nats uniform was a 20-20 guy. Sometimes people forget how good a career Desmond's had even before he arrived in Denver. Starting at 3 different positions. He's been an all-star at 2 different spots.
Desi only needs 5 stolen bases to be a 20-20 guy this year.
That's right. And I guarantee it's going to happen. When he gets on, he likes to force the issue. And the Rockies have been forcing the issue a little bit more in the month of August. They have 19 stolen bases.
That's the 5th most in the major leagues for this month.
3-2 on Story. And Trevor goes down. In the inning, Ramirez gave up a double to Blackman, and then the next left-handed hitter he faced, Carlos Gonzalez, hit it deep into the night, and the Rockies have a 2-0 beginning. He spraying line drives all over the yard last night. He's going to have to match up, though, with Kyle Freeland this evening. 27 start for Kyle, and the 2.96 ERA. The franchise record for lowest ERA in a season is 2.88 by Ubaldo Jimenez in 2010.
Well, part of the reason he has been so good this year is his slider. The batting average against his slider is 195. Just using a lot more in the last 5 or 6 games is Kyle.
Carr going right, hauls it in, 1 out.
For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch, and it's nice when you have an ace up your sleeve, whether you're playing cards or whether you're playing baseball. And for Kyle Freeland, 2 earned runs each of his last 4 ball games. The Rocks are 4-0. They've also won 9 out of his last 10 games that he started. So for Kyle, just keep doing what you're doing, and it's nice for the offense to give you the early lead.
1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up David Fletcher, who's hitting 10 of his last 12 ball games. And he takes just off the plate, ball 1. And that's in the zone, 1-1. 7 career starts against the American League, a 1.81 ERA. How do you like that?
Yeah, and 5-0 and a 2.28 batting average against.
Down and in. 2 balls and a strike. That's a good pitch on the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's some late life on the Subaru strike zone.
Three and 2. .76 degrees, same temperature as last night. Shocking.
Go figure. Southern Cal.
is fouled off out of play.
If you're Fletcher too, you know you're placing Ian Kinsler at second, but also you have the luxury of batting in front of Mike Trout. And how many guys can say that?
It's a good place to be. That's pulled foul.
Because you're going to get more pitches. I mean, they're not going to try to pitch around you. They don't want you to get on base. I don't want anybody on when Mike Trout comes up.
And he got him. Look at that fastball. Tailed away. Thought he was protecting the outside corner and died before it touched the outside corner. Great pitch for Freeland. First strikeout, 2 gone, and Mike Trout coming up. Here is a look at the Southwest batting order for Mike Scioscia tonight. Pujols and Simmons, 3, 4, 5 are after Trout. Then Rivera, Marte, Ward. What a big hit last night by Eric Young Jr. You notice that Shohei Ohtani's not in the lineup. Not a surprise. Left on left. Try to limit him, even though he's not pitching right now. He did throw that simulated game yesterday, 3 innings. Yesterday morning. First pitch to Trout's down low. I asked Kyle yesterday, I said, you know, you've been at this now for a couple of years. You're having great success, but do you ever still look in the batter's box and say, wow, that's Mike Trout, or that's Albert Pujols? And that's a strike. And he said, it's an interesting question. I guess a little bit I still do. But then the competitor came out and you want to see how you match up.
And I think that's a very fair answer.
I mean, he's definitely keenly aware of who's in the batter's box.
Oh, heck yeah. It doesn't matter how long you play the game either. You like to watch the other superstars do their thing, but then when it comes to it, you say, well, I think I'm better. Let's go.
2-2. Quickly look at the gloves for the Rockies tonight. Parra, Blackman, Gonzalez in the outfield. Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, and McMahon playing first base. Again, Desi is the designated hitter tonight. Chris Iannetta doing the catching. So Ryan McMahon playing at the Big A for the first time, even though he grew up 10 minutes from here. He had a workout here. He played football here. He's never played a baseball game. 3-2.
Unlike Nolan, who played over at Dodger Stadium when he was in high school.
Nolan had never played a game here prior to a few years ago. 3-2 on Trout. He went.
Nope.
He's over 100 walks this year. And a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Pujols. Let's see if he went.
This is
certainly
why,
from our vantage point, it looked like he went. But
well, it did. The side swing is where you can always get a better look, and according to that, no, he didn't go. That was the right call by Ryan Blakeney. But Mike Trout this year, 462 on base percentage, about 20 points higher than the club record that he set.
Albert bounces it to short. And Story, it's interesting, because yesterday he went to short. He tried to go to short where he realized he didn't have it. This time from Jump Street, he sets his feet, goes across the diamond. Good inning for Freeland. What's that?
Too low. Right? You're welcome. I got you, Taylor.
Did a nice job of that, Huey. Gerardo Parra leading off in the second inning. The new pitcher is Jim Johnson, and I know what Mike Scioscia's doing. We've got it figured out. He's going in reverse order of last night. Ramirez finished the game last night. Johnson through the 8th inning.
So he gets the second today.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
And then Williams Perez will be in next, undoubtedly, right?
Because he pitched in the 7th last night, so he gets the 3rd tonight.
Well, actually, he pitched only a third of the inning in the 7th.
No, but I mean, he pitched in the 7th inning. I didn't say he finished it.
No, yeah. Two balls and a strike on Parra. Parra hitting .308 out on the road, which is tied for 8th best in the National League. Surprisingly, he's hitting only .255 at Coors Field. Good eye from Gerardo. 3-1. It's Parra, Desmond, and McMahon here in the second. Blackman double, Cargo home run to right. That's how the Rockies are up 2-0 quickly. This is in the air to deep left field. Young on the track will haul it in and to reach up to make the catch. Bring up Ian Desmond. More on Troy Tulowitzki in a Rockies uniform. He grew up in Northern California. He was a big star at Long Beach State. He didn't play a lot of minor league games after the Rockies drafted him #1. He kind of rocketed his way to the big leagues, and he acted like he belonged from Jump Street. And he showed great leadership on the field in that '07 run to the World Series, especially for a kid.
Well, just where he finished that year, I still argue he should have been Rookie of the Year. His defense.
That's the year Ryan Braun won it, right?
Yeah.
Close call.
Well, Braun had, I think, 30-something errors that year at third base.
That's how he became a left fielder.
Right?
Troy went 7th overall in the '05 draft, and 2 years later, he's helping lead the Rockies to the World Series. 1-2 on Desmond.
For 1,000 games with the Rockies.
Blue Jays just announced, by the way, yesterday that Troy would not play in September at all. It's been a long road back from surgery on both heels. This ball's in the air to center field. Trout toward the gap in right center will haul it in. A little bit more on Troy. Played over 1,000 games in a Rockies uniform. Basically hit 300, close to 200 home runs. 5 All-Star games, Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers. He's terrific. He has Hall of Fame talent. It's just the issues with his legs and now his heels.
Well, and also his ankle.
Robbed him. Yeah, an ankle as well.
Ankle that he broke last year.
Just robbed him of so much playing time here the last few years. And he will not play again at all in 2018. Fly out by McMahon, 2-0 Colorado. 2018 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. We're in Anaheim, California, Orange County, Angel Stadium. The Rockies, as we go to the bottom of the second inning, leading 2-0. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, and Jenny Cavnar, as Andrelton Simmons will take his first turn against Kyle Freeland. Freeland allowed just a 3-2 walk on a borderline pitch to Mike Trout in the first, and he throws a slider for strike one.
They got Pujols with the ground out on the first pitch after.
And this is knocked down by Kyle, and unfortunately, it's going to be an infield hit for Simmons.
Well, if Kyle doesn't at least slow this down, it was ticketed for center field. Where Trev was playing, I'm not sure he gets to that, but that was the right communication between Nolan and Kyle. Because Nolan was going to have the better look with it, and he just couldn't come up with the bare hand after it went off the glove of Kyle.
Here's the catcher, Rene Rivera. Big swing and a miss.
Rivera missed 76 games earlier this year. Some problems with his right knee.
He's going to play a fair amount down the stretch. Martin Maldonado was traded. We just saw him. He's in Houston now, right? Is that where we saw him?
I think it was Houston.
Good receiver. That's a strike. Yeah, they sent him to Houston for international pool space and also a left-handed reliever. Minor league kid.
I see a lot more of that international pool money being traded.
You do see that.
Well, I know Baltimore does it quite a bit. They'll use that just like they would a player.
One-two, center field. Charlie coming on. He's got it. And returning to first base is Simmons. One gone. Jeffrey Marte will come up. Time for our Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Single season ERA, all-time minimum of 20 starts. We mentioned this earlier. Ubaldo in 2010 fashioned at 288. And Freeland is right behind him at 296. In fact, Kyle has the lowest ERA among starters who pitch from the left side in the National League.
How about the one, the ERA too at home, 227.
Yeah, that's one that really grabs your attention. 296, I don't care where you're pitching.
Yeah. Well, Patrick Corbin's above 3. He's at 315. You got Sean Newcomb.
Where's Kershaw right now?
Not on that list.
Alex Wood, 360. Want to know on Marte.
Kershaw would be leading that list, but he doesn't qualify because he missed the time with the back. So Well, some people are probably looking at home. That's why he doesn't qualify for that mark.
Good pitch. 2-1.
Last pitch from Kyle. His job is just kind of working that outer corner. 1-1 count. Or, I mean, excuse me, a 2-0 count. Hitter's geared up for that fastball. He didn't throw it right down the middle.
That's a good job by McMahon knocking that down.
When those snap throws too, those are the hardest ones as a first baseman, because you know you're used to the guy coming up and then making the throw, but when they step off, it takes a lot of arm strength to be able to do that snap throw. Some lefties don't even like to do that. Puts a lot of stress on the elbow.
Iannetta blocks it now. 3-1. Toward left, Parra will make the catch.
I say this a lot when Gerardo's out in left field, but that was a great jump.
He just gets great reads.
And those are the hard ones too, the line drives, because are they gonna, does it have top spin on it or backspin? Top spin, it's gonna die when it gets to you. If it has backspin, it'll still carry on you, and for Gerardo, he read that right on the money.
Oh, and 1 on Taylor Ward. Bottom of 2, Rockies up 2-0. That Rockies young rotation, and one of the things that players, you dealt with this, pitchers have had to deal with when they come out of college or come out of amateur baseball, as they become pros and make their way to the big leagues, if they're so fortunate, you're dealing with more baseball than you've ever played and a workload like you've never dealt with. Even if you're a Friday night starter in college, that's once a week.
Yeah, so the other thing too is the amount of bullpens you throw. You know, you might throw a couple, feel better in college. You got to dial it back some when you reach professional baseball. Even the day after you pitch, how much do you throw? So it's a big learning curve. But this year for the Rockies, they have just really done it from the pitching staff point of view, the starters in particular, where they rank as far as the innings that they pitched.
And this is in the air to Parra. He'll jog in. Freeland looks over his shoulder off camera, and the catch is made. Kyle is navigated the first 2. Colorado leading 2-0 on a cargo blast.
Of course, it was DJ LeMahieu with the big home run at the time last night, his first career Grand Slam. And it's time now for At the Dish, brought to you by Dish Network. Let's take a look at DJ and those home runs this year. 12 so far for him is a career high in a single season. As I mentioned, his first career Grand Slam last night. 10 of the 12 home runs have given the Rockies the lead. 4 go-ahead home runs in the 8th inning or later. DJ seems to come up at the most valuable times for this team so far this season. Not to mention, 10 of his 12 home runs have been out on the road away from Coors Field. We always talk about that 6'4" frame. It looks like DJ potentially has power hitter written all over him for his future. Another new trick up his sleeve, guys.
He's just pretty good at baseball. Whatever you need him to do, he can provide. You get an opportunity here to swing the bat in the 3rd inning again. It'll be Chris Iannetta, then Charlie and DJ. Rockies got a double from Charlie in the 1st, and then one hitter later, Cargo hit a home run on a 1-2 pitch. Taylor Cole just recalled for the 3rd time this year from Salt Lake City. And he's been better out of the pen than he has been as a starter. This is the 3rd time he's been asked to start this year, and he has a 23+ ERA as a starter, which is great if you're a small forward. Not great if you're a starting pitcher.
Okay, got it.
The former Angel takes ball 1. It's 1-1 on Chris Iannetta.
Well, Taylor Cole was recalled so late today that he's not even in the lineup card that we get from the Angels. He wasn't even listed on it today.
Chris enjoyed his time playing out here in Anaheim. Rhode Island kid who went south to North Carolina for his college baseball. It's on the ground to 2nd. Fletcher will throw him out. 1 guy. When the Rockies score 7 runs or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special at Mas at Taco Bell. Rockies scored 7 last night. Unfortunately, the Angels ended up with 10. Charlie's double was to deep right center, leading off the ball game.
I was going to say, got some final numbers on that 8th inning last night. It took 57 minutes to play 1 inning of baseball.
It's just one of those innings you want to push the lead on. Adam Ottavino, who's had a brilliant year. It's hard to pitch any better than he has this year. Just didn't have his command. Rockies walked 5 in the inning. That matches a franchise worst. There were only 2 hits, and they were both singles. Usually you say, okay, you gave up 5, there were only 2 hits. Somebody had to hit a 3-run homer or a grand slam.
None of them were hit hard. Ohtani's was not hit hard. Of course, Eli's wasn't for sure.
2 hops to Fletcher, 2 outs. That'll bring up LeMahieu. DJ got Charlie to 3rd with a line drive to right that was caught just shy of the warning track. His approach is the same, but we're seeing him pull the baseball more. And if you look to the last 3 years, he just keeps getting better as a hitter. The slugging percentage the last 3 years, .447. And of course, he's hitting more home runs.
I think when he first came up, he was just trying to establish himself and what he wanted to do and how he did it coming up in the minor leagues. He wasn't going to deviate from that plan. And kudos to DJ for doing that, because natural tendency when you come up and, you know, talking to hitting coach, they want you to do something different. And for DJ, said, no, this is what got me here. I'm successful. As I mature, I'll learn to pull the baseball, and that's exactly what he's done. He's dropped his home run rate over half from what it was in 2012 through 2015.
Got to know who you are
You
and
do.
trust who you are.
Trust is the big word in all that. Trust who you are.
Well, this is line to right, but it's right at Calhoun again. So 2 good swings of the bat by DJ didn't result in hits. The Rockies done in their half of the third. They lead it 2-0. Great talent. There's no question about that. So many great moments in a Rockies uniform. You just feel bad for what he's been through, and having been around him for a long period as you and I were, nobody worked harder to stay on the field. Nobody worked harder in preparing to play.
Sometimes your body just betrays you. No matter what you do, how hard you work.
He's a lot like Nolan. He's a lot like Charlie. In everything they do is to make them a better baseball player.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just his body didn't hold up.
2-1 on EY, and this is a soft liner to short. Story's got it, 1 out.
Well, we marvel a lot at Troy and his defense, what he was able to do. Didn't matter if it was to his left and getting popping up and throwing to first base. Had that strong arm. The dives, I think, though, everybody thinks about the Jeter type play where it's in the hole, the jump throw. When you talk about Troy, and we have the pleasure of seeing that now with Trevor.
Well, he's tied with the great Omar Vizquel for the highest fielding percentage ever by a shortstop. Here's Calhoun. He takes inside ball 1. And if you think about Vizquel, brilliant defender. Tulo's like twice his size.
Oh, he's built into Cal Ripken mode.
High fly ball to left center field. Charlie's camped underneath it. 2 outs. Simmons on that list also. He's 5th among all-time shortstops, fielding percentage. I always marveled at Omar Vizquel. He had seasons where he had like 2 errors, 3 errors. It was ridiculous.
I don't know how many hits he took away from me. So yeah, I can vouch for that .985 fielding percentage.
Fletcher takes a slider for a strike.
Vizquel and Robbie Alomar were together up the middle for Cleveland.
Don't hit it there.
Kenny Lofton in center.
It's called being strong up the middle.
Sandy Alomar behind the plate.
That's why they won a lot of games.
Yeah.
1-1 on Fletcher. Struck out on a fastball away his first time up. Steely focus. There's a base hit. 2-out single. That'll bring up Trout. Always gets the crowd a buzz. We were talking earlier about how strong Kyle Freeland's been against the American League. 7 starts, a 1.81 ERA. Verlander in the last 2 years, a 1.68. Trevor Williams, Clayton Kershaw, and Kyle Freeland. That's a good group to be a part of. Trout walked on a 3-2 pitch.
The thing for Trout, that pitch was just outside the Subaru strike zone, but Trout's plate discipline.
It's great, and also he's going to get the benefit of the doubt more than most. Not saying he doesn't have a great eye, he does. See, that's a strike, and it was called such. I thought for a moment it may not. Adam Hamari's behind home plate. Ryan Blakeney's at first. Tom Hallion, the crew chief's at second. Dan Bellino's at third. 1 ball, 1 strike on Trout. There are only 12 players in Major League history. Check this out here, that have hit over 300 with more than 200 home runs, 600 ribbies, 200 doubles, 700 runs, and 150 stolen bases. Trout's one of them, and he just turned 27 a couple weeks ago.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm talking about all time. I'm not talking about,
time.
you know, through their first X number of seasons. All time. He's on an all-time list of guys that include Henry Aaron, Willie Mays, Chipper Jones, Vladimir Guerrero, Larry Walker, George Brett, Ryan Braun, Derek Jeter, Goose Goslin, Paulie Molitor, and the aforementioned Robbie Alomar. Many of those guys are Hall of Famers or should be Hall of Famers, and this kid's on that list, and he just celebrated his 27th birthday.
Exactly, and pretty much the face of baseball. When people talk about it, you know, Mike Trout's one of the Mount Rushmores of baseball.
Yeah, 2-2. Hit a home run last night. He's built. You select your NFL position: outside linebacker, running back. He'd be a big running back. He's 6'2", about 235 to 240. And he works underneath this one. Cargo in right. Makes the catch, and it's another solid inning for Kyle Freeland. We'll go to the 4th. The Rockies up 2-0. Cargo's going to lead it off in a minute and a half. Speed Challenge. What's your favorite Troy Tulowitzki memory? The Tulo chant, his jump throws, the triple play in his rookie year, or that great September of 2010 when he hit 15 home runs, drove in 40? That was a joke. I mean, he's like every night, bomb.
What did Ben say about that when we were talking to him? He was just marveling at that month for Troy, saying that I'm not sure I've ever seen this before, a kid doing this.
That's because I think he joined, was it Babe Ruth, the only other guy who drove in 40 in the month of September?
But I'm going to go with the triple play, the unassisted triple play. That's my answer.
Cargo fouls that pitch off. Noe Ramirez pitched the first inning, gave up the 2 runs. Jim Johnson pitched a 1-2-3 second, and Taylor Cole is going to get multiple innings. He had a 1-2-3 third. 8 in a row actually set down by the Angels after the home run by Cargo. 1-1. It is time for the Coors Light refreshing finish. This is the first inning, a 1-2 pitch, and there it goes. Cargo with his 15th home run. Continues to wear out the American League this year. He and Mike Trout have been the best hitters against the opposite league this season.
Well, I think, too, that was an important one for a couple different reasons. After last night, but just to get back on the board in the first inning against the Angels.
2 guys over 400 this year, Trout and Cargo. John Jay's cheating. He's doing it both leagues. 3-2. Rockies need a night. They need several nights where they just keep adding on, where it's a steady stream of offense. That is a pop-up to the third baseman, Ward. And that'll bring up Arenado. Nolan was 0 for 5 last night and struck out swinging his first at bat tonight.
That RBI ground out in the 7th. His 91st RBI.
I gotta ask Tiny. Mike Ponarelli, the terrific and longtime clubhouse manager of the Rockies, worked on both sides, visitors, home side. Started working downstairs when he was 4.
There's Tiny.
There's Michael. That's true. I got to ask, how, and you may know the answer to this. You look at Nolan's helmet, and it's got, pine tar all over it. Craig Biggio, a lot of guys do it because they keep, adjusting their helmet and they have pine tar on their glove. How many helmets does he go through in a year? Is that it? Is that the only one he wears? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. Sometimes they inadvertently get broken, though. You might take it off and set it down, and somehow it just cracks. So you got to get a new one.
I mean, it cracks when somebody fires it against the wall.
I'm saying inadvertently. It happens. It happens. You'll break a helmet every once in a while during the course of a season.
3 balls and a strike on Nolan.
I think it's got a hairline crack in it, though.
I was talking to Charlie about that because Charlie has that even-keeled demeanor. He said, but every once in a while, he said, I gotta
let it go.
I gotta let it go.
You have to.
Well, 3-2.
Some guys don't like to have their helmet cleaned of the pine tar, because I know a lot of equipment guys want to make sure it looks bright and shiny, but players don't like that. They like to have that familiar look.
Line to right, Calhoun coming on, lays out and makes the catch. 10 in a row set down by the Angels. Fine catch by Calhoun.
Rockies have hit a few line drives. That's his third line drive now to right field. DJ had 2 of them, and then Cole Calhoun going Superman on Nolan to make the grab.
Two outs, Trevor Story at the plate. 26 home runs for Trevor. Take strike 1. I asked Trevor tonight around the batting cage, I said, is this almost more difficult than when you're facing, a starter that you may get, 2-3 at-bats against? He said, yeah. He said, because each guy's different, and some of these guys are so young, they're really paying close attention before they're at bat to the iPads they have in the dugout, and they'll call up video.
I think
on them, get with Dwayne Espy and Jeff Salazar, and they'll take a quick crash course on the guy that came. Taylor Cole had been up when the Rockies faced him.
No, I think it would be different if it was one of the teams that you play regularly in your own division. San Diego, LA, Arizona, San Francisco, if they had a bullpen day.
Yep. Three and one.
Everything away on the Subaru strike zone. They don't want to come into the power of Trevor. He'll start to look away, and he'll take you out to right center.
We've seen that many times. That's a base hit. He got the barrel out and ripped it through the left side. So Trevor, with 2 outs, is aboard, and that snaps the string of 10 in a row set down. That'll give Gerardo Parra an opportunity here in the 4th.
Well, the Rockies in the thick of this pennant race, and you can place a deposit on a 2019 ticket plan and guarantee an opportunity at the 2018 postseason tickets. For more information, go to Rockies.com/season tickets or call 303-ROCKIES. That ball was rocketed off the bat at Trevor at 110 miles an hour.
Parra hit a ball to the warning track in left that was gathered in by E.Y. Jr., his first at bat. Calhoun's way off the line in right center field. Trout shaded toward left. I've always liked this ballpark. You played here. I think visually it's a stimulating place to play. Pretty good hitters background.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Even with the rock formation out in left center field, you don't see any of that. All you see is that green shrubbery and then the green padding that they have above that. Good backdrop here. Even when it was the old combo football baseball stadium, it was still pretty good because nobody would be sitting out there.
Trevor takes off, and Rivera not going to get him. Another stolen base.
Creative slide at second base by Trev. And we've seen Trevor go in head first a lot. This time he goes to the outside portion with his feet first.
This is interesting because you become a creature of habit, and he did go feet first.
And he just went to the outside. Got the foot on there, stays in contact, does not come off. Better look on the Subaru Supermo.
Well, they're going to take a look at it.
I think that from that angle, looked like the foot tagged the bag at the same time the glove went into the belly.
Yeah, the Rockies had one of these yesterday overturned when Mike Scioscia challenged.
That's going to be close, but looked like the foot got in. Foot on the bag. They can slow it down in New York frame by frame by frame. You know what? They might have got him on the elbow. I was looking at the belly, but it might have been on the elbow.
I think that, yeah, and you know what? There's a bunch of Angels who are walking off the field. They think that, well, now it's official. And you're right, we're looking at the belt level, but he grazed the elbow, so no stolen base for Story. End of inning. Parra will lead things off in the fifth. Colorado up 2-0. All right, Taylor, thanks very much. Here's Albert Pujols. Hit a ground ball to short his first time up. Rockies up 2-0, bottom of 4. And that's a strike on Albert.
Albert didn't like that, but that clearly inside the Subaru strike zone. That's pitch number 2 there. No doubt about that one.
Number fouls it off. So Pujols is 23rd now on the all-time hits list, 3,082. He's 6th on the all-time home run list, 633. He's one of 4 players with 3,000 hits, 600 homers, Mays, Aaron, and A-Rod. And he's 19 ribbies shy of being one of 3 as he bounces this one to second, and DJ will throw him out. Check this out. He's 19 ribbies shy of becoming one of 3 players ever with 3,000 hits, 600 homers, and 2,000 RBIs. That would be Henry Aaron and Alex Rodriguez. Crazy.
When he did all those years in St. Louis and now getting the 10-year contract with the Angels. Not too shabby for a 13th round pick.
No, Artie Moreno, the owner. This is going to drop into left center field for a base hit for Simmons. He's 2 for 2. He has an infield hit. Now that one. Signed him to the 10-year deal. Jerry DiPoto was the general manager then, and I've talked to Jerry about this, and I think any person would realize that you were going to overpay a little bit at the back end of the deal. I mean, he was 32 when he signed the 10-year deal, so you're talking about paying a guy well into his 40s, and that happens. A lot of times you have to pay a little bit in arrears to get a guy, or at least it was happening more frequently.
I think, too, for Artie and the Angels, they thought, well, if he can't play first base anymore, he can still DH. And even if he couldn't play the last couple of years of that contract, still have him around. Goodwill ambassador. Great for the game of baseball.
Yeah, and all that's taken into consideration. I don't think anybody suggested this is fouled off. Anybody suggested, yeah, he's still going to be hitting 35, 40 home runs when he's 42.
But from 2003 to 2008, you know, you kind of average out the numbers in a 162-game season. He was hit 339, 41 home runs, 120 RBIs, and scoring 120 runs a game.
Just amazing stuff. He'll have 3 more years after this year concludes. And even though Albert doesn't move great anymore, he's moving better now than at different points the last couple of years, I think by a bunch.
Well, and the way the schedule works for the Angels next year, he's going back to St. Louis for the first time since he's left.
He has not played in St. Louis. I didn't realize that. Strike 3 on Rivera. That's the second strikeout for Freeland. 2 gone, and Jeffrey Marte coming up.
Both of the strikeouts for Kyle have come via the fastball. You know, the first one was 91 miles an hour. This one was 92 miles an hour. So accustomed to seeing Kyle with the slider to the back foot to get the strikeout. Rivera got the express, locked him up.
Marte lined out to left his first time up. He's got a strike on him now. On the corner, good pitch, 0-2.
A good stick too by Chris.
That's going to drift out of play by a little bit. Greg, that's good play right there.
Very nice, Noisy. That's so California right there, too.
Just chilling, man.
Just chilling.
That is, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We are not, we clearly are not in Minneapolis. Not saying you can't wear flip-flops in Minneapolis, but
that's great. Look at the ballpark in his flip-flop. Way to go, Noisy. This one says fastball away.
Just missed.
Cut fastball.
Runner going, throw to second on the bag, but it gets kicked loose. And a stolen base for Simmons.
The play as an infielder, you know it's going to be close. The guy's sliding in. You got to try to apply the tag quickly. Ball doesn't get into the glove because you're so worried about making sure you get that tag down. And it went off the edge of DJ's glove, but he did a subtle thing there. He kind of held the glove on the base runner, acting like he still had the baseball, so he couldn't get up. Not that it went that far away, but it's a little trick you do. So he doesn't think that, you know, the ball is away. He thinks it's still in your glove. See ya.
Stolen base doesn't matter because Marte is a strikeout victim. 2 of those in the inning. We move to the 5th inning. Colorado shutting out the Angels 2-0 behind Freeland.
AAA, but with his little brother off playing football at Mississippi State, he's using it as a learning tool.
Honestly, one thing that helps is my little brother's going off to college, stuff like that. I want to be a good example for him, and he's obviously going to hit some tough times. You know, being the freshman, the guy, you know, he's got to work his way up, do his time. So just kind of keep him in mind, try to keep a good attitude, because when he comes to me for advice, that's all I tell him is keep a good attitude, keep your head down, get your work in. So just trying to listen to what I'm telling my little brother, I guess.
Pretty cool for Ryan to reflect on it in that way. You know, pretty cool for him to be home too. His parents are actually out of town. They're in Hawaii on business, so they're missing the opportunity to see Ryan play here at the Big A. But as Drew mentioned, he grew up just up in Yorba Linda, but he actually went to Mater Dei, which is about 30 minutes from his hometown, 6 miles from the stadium here. He's the quarterback of the football team there, guys. And in the last 30 years, there's only been 2 quarterbacks to not play Division I football, Ryan McMahon being one of them. But I think he chose the right profession.
Yeah, and Ryan McMahon would have played Division I college football if he wasn't such a gifted baseball player.
Choices.
Yeah. In fact, the last Mater Dei quarterback, Daniels, is now going to be the starting quarterback at Southern Cal as a true freshman.
True freshman kid.
JT Daniels had just announced yesterday. Tell you something about his baseball team at Mater Dei. His senior year, every guy in the lineup went to a major college, and 2 of their pitchers did that didn't play a position. So they had 11 D1 kids on that modern day team. They were #1 in the nation, and they got beat in the first round of the CIF playoffs.
So what you're saying, the area scouts, they only had to go to one high school.
You get a lot done going to modern day in every sport. And again, a high fly ball to left field. And again, Eric Young's going to make the catch. Well, Ryan has never played a baseball game at the Big A until tonight, but he's played football here. This one, these are some of his highlights as a quarterback. And
that's an impressive throw right there.
yeah, I mean, you can tell. Listen, this kid was a big-time talent. 6'3", steps up in the pocket, shows athletic ability. Got nice touch. That last highlight we were about to show you is from right here at Angel Stadium. Foul back by Desmond. 2 strikes on Desmond. Here he is at the Big A. This is a little trick play, and he's going to throw it to a wide open receiver. That young man, as Ryan told me when we were watching the highlights, now plays for the now plays for the Miami Dolphins. So, he had some decent talent around him also.
They throw for over 3,000 yards. Crazy numbers.
Rockies had the 2-run homer in the first. They have 1 hit since then. Story's base hit with 2 outs in the 4th. Then he was cut down trying to steal. 2-2 on Desmond. Three hits apiece as the Rockies bat in the top of the 5th. Trying to snap a little 2-game losing streak. Last night was a tough one.
16 games ago where they had the 2-game losing streak.
They started out really poorly in August. I think they were 2-8 at one point. They're 13-12 now, even after the loss last night. Taylor Cole shakes off a couple of pitches. Finally, Desmond calls for time.
Desi worked himself back into a good count at 3-2 after falling behind 0-2.
And he strikes out Desmond. So that is 2 outs with McMahon coming up.
Sunday, September 9th is Dia de los Rockies. The first 10,000 fans to the gates will receive a Los Rockies jersey and come early for a pregame concert on the rooftop featuring Iscali.
McMahon swung at the first pitch in the 2nd inning, hit a fly ball to Trout in center. He had a workout here for the Angels, and it came in the afternoon after having a workout for the Padres down at Petco earlier in the day. And he said at Petco, he said, I was really nervous. He said, I really didn't swing the bat very well. And he said, then I came up here and worked out for the Angels, and he said I was crushing the ball.
Got all the nerves out of the way.
Yeah. He said it was really cool to hit brand new Major League Baseballs.
They're white, they're pearl, they don't have the scuff marks that you have or that you do down in high school or even in the minor leagues. Every day they roll out new pearls.
Yeah, they travel pretty good too, huh?
Yeah, a little bit further than that one that the seam's starting to come apart on.
Yeah.
Feels like you're hitting a pillow.
1-2, and that's all for the Rockies. They have gone quiet offensively again. 1-2-3 5th inning. They have the lead because Kyle Freeland keeps throwing up zeros. All right, Taylor, thank you. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be Taylor Ward, Eric Young Jr., and then the top of the order represented by Cole Calhoun, and that's a strike. Kyle Freeland doing his thing. 3 hits, no runs through 4 innings. Rockies is 9-26 all time against the Angels, and that's strike 3. Ward's got to go. Well, you may have heard this a little while ago, if you're following the news. There was an earthquake about 26 miles from the ballpark down in Laverne, California. 4.4 is what it registered on the Richter scale. I didn't feel much here. Did you feel anything?
No, I just saw the lights flicker a little bit behind us, but I didn't really feel anything. I've been a part of one here before when I was playing and also as a visitor, and it's kind of an eerie feeling when you're standing on the ground and things going just shaking a little bit.
Shaking a little bit, yeah. I thought Doug was trying to plug in his computer.
I didn't know what. I thought Dougie was over here dancing or something like that, just trying to, have some fun during the broadcast, and lo and behold, it's an earthquake 25 miles from here.
Yeah, and fortunately, from reports so far, I think everything's okay.
Yeah, I think
said
that's
it was at a depth of 3.7 miles beneath the Earth's surface.
Whew. I'm just glad everybody's okay.
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
People ask once in a while, because we spent so much time in California, have you ever been in an earthquake? And to the best of my knowledge, I don't recall ever feeling one. You had the one when you played out here.
Yeah, when I played out here, but phone, I was getting some texts from folks back home saying, "Did you feel it? Everything okay? You guys okay out there?"
This is a base hit for EY, and is he going to try to turn it up? Nope. Fargo got there in a hurry. So a 1-out base hit for Junior, and that'll bring up Cole Calhoun.
Cam Bedrosian, the right-hander, getting loose for the Angels. This is a guy.
This is a scary guy.
Well, that's where I was going with this. Don't just throw one fastball to get me overtime to Calhoun, because he enjoys swinging the bat at the first pitch. He also likes leading off, hitting in the leadoff spot. 324 there, 168 all the other spots.
Well, since he came off the DL on June 18th, we're talking about a little more than 2 months, he has 16 home runs, which is tied for the 2nd most in the American League. And this is going to cost the Rockies a base as Eric Young Jr. skips to second on the wild pitch.
They didn't start off with the fastball. It was a cutter. Pretty hard at 89 miles an hour. It'll go down as a wild pitch.
No swing, 2-0.
All right, Drew, I think I've figured out Cole Calhoun, the way he stands and kind of shakes the bat out a little. Lenny Dykstra.
A little bit. Out of that crouch.
Out of the crouch, the way the hands are.
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Right,
yeah.
Nails.
And Lenny Dykstra had some pop, too. Of course, there are reasons perhaps he develops some of that pop. One out, Young at second, 2-1 on Calhoun. 71 pitches in for Freeland.
45 strikes for Kyle.
Become one of those masters of soft contact. That's a great pitch. 2-2.
He snuck the fastball on the outside of the Subaru strike zone. Still stay away from the inside to Calhoun.
Five straight years, 15+ home runs for Calhoun. Other guys with the Angels to do that who played right field. Tim Salmon, your old teammate. Vladimir Guerrero. Salmon did it 9 years straight. And the line shot. Ooh, that's a good pickup by Story. That's kind of one of those 50-50 plays where you just hope it finds your glove a little bit, right?
Yeah, because that was also knuckling. So you never really get a true read on it. It helped that he was just right behind Kyle. But you also have the base runner you got to deal with. Kyle's ducking, so you don't pick up the ball until the last moment. If this scoots by, then Eric Young Jr., he would score. Instead, it's an out off the bat of Calhoun.
Chris Iannetta went out to the mound. You have David Fletcher up there. There's 2 outs, Young at third, and of course Mike Trout on deck. So heavy concentration on getting this young man. Fletcher a strikeout and a single.
Kyle's been particularly tough this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 107 average against.
That's a strike. The good ones always are.
Right? Don't they elevate it? They know. They know where the lineup is. Who's the guys?
Yeah, he's not dealing with a great run cushion right now. 2-0 Colorado. 0-1 to Fletcher, the rookie.
Oh, that could have been a strike on the Subaru strike zone.
Yeah.
That was at the knees.
That cutter-slider combination, pressure on Chris Iannetta, because Eric Young Jr. still can run at third, and there's a lot of room behind home plate. This stadium's obviously older. That's on the corner. It kind of maybe makes up for the other one. It probably was a little bit off the corner. 1-2.
Well, that's a turned over pitch from Kyle.
Make one more pitch. Here's the 1-2. And a base hit up the middle by Fletcher, and it's 2-1. He's now hit in 11 out of 13 games.
So 6 of those have been multi-hit games now. 22 RBIs. He's just going to spraying the ball all around.
Kyle wanted that cutter in a little bit, get it more on the hands. So here's Trout. A walk and a fly ball to Cargo. DJ sneaks over to the left side of the infield. At the knees.
Two strikes. StatCast AI on the pitches for Mike Trout in the zone. It's powered by AWS. I mean, there's some guys that are strong MVP candidates. Javi Baez in the National League, and JD Martinez, Jose Ramirez, Mike Trout on the 700 slugging percentages and pitches in the zone.
Mookie Betts, if you're counting MVP candidates as well in the American League. Mike Trout is signed with the Angels through the 2020 season. Start hearing about that middle of next year. He'll be 29 when he becomes a free agent again.
Still in the prime of his career.
Strike 3 on Trout. And it was at the very top of the strike zone, no question. So Freeland gives up a run, but he gets Mike Trout. And the Rockies going to the 6th, lead it 2-1. By Subaru, love it's what makes a Subaru, and by Dish Network, better TV for all. Well, the 4th pitcher utilized on a day where the Angels are using everybody available. They said it was going to be a bullpen day, and Cam Bedrosian, the son of Steve Bedrosian, will come on for the 63rd time this year.
51 strikeouts in the 56 innings for Cam, 265 batting average against. You mentioned his dad, Steve Bedrosian, 14-year major leaguer from 1981 to 1995, 184 saves. Won a Cy Young in 1987 when he led the National League with 40 saves. So he's got a little bit of help when he needs some guidance and some counseling about the major league life.
Yeah, you bet. Iannetta then the top of the order, and Chris hits this ball to his former teammate Trout, 1 out. Rockies got a double from Blackman, who's walking to the plate right now, leading off the game. And then Cargo, after a line out by LeMahieu, moved Charlie to 3rd. Cargo hit 1 out. That's the 2 runs for the Rockies. Their only other base runner, a 2-out single by Story in the 4th, and he was caught trying to steal 2nd. That's it. This Rocky offense last night scored 7 runs, but they again struggled with runners in scoring position. Tonight they're struggling just to get runners.
Yeah, last night 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position. They left 10 guys on base last night to go along with the 11 hits.
Yeah, they were very good after a slow start They really picked it up in latter part of May and June and into July with runners in scoring position. They were one of the better teams in baseball in that department. In the second half, it's been a tough go. The Rockies just 225 in the second half with runners in scoring position, which is second from last. So they'll be trying to turn that around the final 30 ball games. Tonight is game number 132. Down the left field line, fair ball. See if Charlie turns this into a double. Young does not throw well. Charlie runs well, double.
Charlie just slapped that one down the line. And he was wise because he knew coming out of the box that it was going to be Eric trying to go towards the line and be able to throw him out. So he's banking on his wheels and the arm strength of EY, and he was right for his 21st double this year, second double tonight. And now Rockies have another runner in scoring position.
DJ has hit an identical baseball twice tonight. Line drive to deep right, but right at Cole Calhoun.
Go ahead and pull one into the hole. It's all right with that.
That's a strike. DJ hitting .362 his last 14 ball games. He's driven in 10. He scored 12 runs. Get that run back and hopefully a couple of others. 2-1, the Rockies leading. One out in the sixth inning. Rockies this year are 11 games above 500 against teams below 500. Against teams below 500, they are 25 and 25. And a sharp ground ball. It's picked up by Marte, and he feeds Bedrosian. 2 outs. Charlie to third. That'll bring up Cargo.
3 times now for DJ to hit the ball hard. He had nothing to show for it. Fans, MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $59.99. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
Charles Nagy's going to run out and talk to Bedrosian here with Cargo stepping into the box.
Well, we have a moment. They're going over how to pitch Cargo. Well, in the first inning, our Subaru Supermo on the home run by Cargo. Just like the finish, he knew it. Look in his eyes as he's watched the ball travel out into the old bullpen here at the Big A. That's where they used to have the bullpens where he hit it. Now it's just a tunnel out there in right field.
You know, speaking of the tunnels, underneath in the bowels of this stadium, you can get lost in the tunnel system here.
Yes, you can.
2 outs, runner at third. Cargo takes down and in. Get Charlie home. Adam, you're right. Blackman a pair of doubles tonight. Two and 0. And 3-0. Nolan's on deck.
Sosha just looked at Rene Rivera. Told him to be smart here. Cargo will be swinging 3-0 if he likes it.
And he walks. You don't often see guys pitched around to get to Nolan Arenado, but I think that was some of the message clearly based on how Bedrosian faced Cargo. As great as Nolan is and a perennial MVP candidate, I think Nagy's advice was we may be better off going right on right. It's hard to imagine that,
yeah,
but
possibly, but good luck with that because Nolan's 0 for 7.
Cargo here, Nolan's 0 for 7. Cargo has 4 hits in the 2 ball games. Some of that probably plays in. So now 2 on. And Nolan, who's one of the obviously best hitters in the game, but you put guys in scoring position, and if it's possible, he takes it to another level.
Yeah, 340 with runners in scoring position, 6th in the National League.
And he gets right. He ripped it. Fletcher was right there. He leaps and makes the catch. And the Rockies will go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, nursing a 1-run lead.
Nolan Arenado, influenced by Troy Tulowitzki, who we're celebrating tonight as part of our Toyota Talk 25, and he shares with us Tulo's work ethic in our UC Health Wreck Your Routine.
There's times I caught myself, like, I can't believe I'm playing left side with Tulo, obviously when I was younger. But, he showed me how to work, me, DJ, guys, he showed us how to work and go about our business. Obviously, he did a lot, a little too much work. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. But, it was fun watching him go about his business. He wanted to be the best day in, day out, and that's something that I admire and something that I take to my game.
Yeah, you guys were talking about that earlier with Tulo and his injuries in the last couple of years, but in those middle parts of his years with the Rockies and when Nolan came up and even Cargo, they talked so much about the respect they had for him and his craft and the business that it took to be as good as Troy was. And of course that started in the weight room and with a bat in your hand all the time and thinking about baseball all the time and doing anything at all costs with your body to make sure that you were ready to play.
Well, a lot of that rubbed off on Nolan. That's in there on Pujols, 3-1. Every day we're in the clubhouse. Nolan's got a bat and he's standing somewhere in the clubhouse just working on his swing, the mechanics of his swing. I'm sure he does it in his room at night.
It's a never-ending process.
Freeland with a walk, just his second of the ball game. He walked Trout back in the 1st inning. So Albert at first, he's the tying run. That'll bring up Simmons. Simmons is 2 for 2.
Guy that's tough to strike out. He's going to put the ball in play. This is where you hope you can get him to reach for one, roll it over, and turn a double play.
Simmons hits this in the air to shallow left. Story backpedaling. He's got it. Simmons retired, 1 out. We'll bring up the catcher now, Rene Rivera.
Rivera, one of those journeyman catchers. 10 seasons, 7 different ball clubs, 502 major league games, 901 minor league games.
That's a good looking pitch, a strike on the corner.
We've worked that outside corner on the Subaru strike zone a lot tonight.
Next pitch will be number 90 for Kyle, looking in the 6th inning. Love to see Kyle go his typical 7. Rocky's a little lighter on the plus side tonight. Ottavino clearly is down. Sung Won Oh is a question mark.
It's going to have to be somebody else in that bullpen.
Well, Scott Oberg would be the next guy up.
Scotty, you know, Wade Davis, when you have the lead in the 9th. Also have Jake McGee from the left side.
1 and 2. That's out of play. Pujols at first, 1 out. Inside. You know, there was a time for a number of years where Albert would steal some bases.
Yeah, but not with the foot issues that he has. With the Achilles, plantar fasciitis.
That's a foul ball. Pujols stole 16 bases on a couple of occasions. Yet another year he stole 14. And it was a good percentage, 16 out of 18, 16 out of 20. In fact, nobody would guess this, but Albert has stolen, coming into the year, 110 bags, now 111. He's got one this year, there it is, in his career.
Pretty good percentage, too, if you're
for a guy who's 240, right? Swung on and missed. Rivera's gone. 2 outs. Strikeout number 6 tonight for Kyle.
That was a cutter at 89 miles an hour. Got Rivera to reach for this. And the beauty of pitching ahead for Kyle.
So here's Marte. Line out and a strikeout tonight for Jeffrey Marte. He's out front. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marte's been with several different organizations. Originally signed with the Mets, also been with the A's and the Tigers. 2-1.
Scott Oberg is almost on cue. Drew's up now in the Rockies bullpen. 98 pitches for Kyle, 62 strikes. That's 36 balls tonight.
This is on 1 hop to Nolan, and he'll skip it across to LeMahieu, and that is all for the Angels in the 6th inning. Good pitching, Kyle Freeland. Rockies out in front, 2-1. See, you never know what'll happen if you ask.
You just didn't ask.
Top of the 7th, and Ty Buttry's in the ball game. He got 4 outs yesterday in relief in the middle innings. He faced Trevor Story yesterday and struck him out.
Yeah, threw 16 pitches yesterday for Ty, 11 strikes.
2-1 Colorado. Story, Parra, Desmond. Rockies have been limited to 4 hits. 2 came in the 1st inning. One and 2 on Story. Trevor has one of the 4 hits tonight. We're getting down to the end of interleague play. Well, we've got another month, but that is a sharp hit, and they're not going to get Trevor. He runs too well. That was a shot off of Jeffrey Marte. 2nd hit of the night.
Well, and then he almost slowed that down enough as he threw the ball out of his glove, not intentionally, to the second baseman, David Fletcher. And then it became a foot race. I mean, this was a rocket. Bounced one hop, and that's how close it was at first. And this is where it helps to have that almost blazing speed down the line for Trevor.
Parra's at the plate. At third base, Taylor Ward's expecting a bunt. He's come in about 15 feet.
One more look at this, and we'll even slow it down on the Subaru Supermo. Even slow it down, because that ball was 103 miles an hour off the bat of Marte, and it's still quick. Doesn't know where it is. And then he just beats it out by half a step.
One strike on Parra. Two fly balls to left. We're talking about interleague play. The National League can do something they haven't done since 2003. Win an interleague. Yeah, win the season series. They're up 137 to 128. Actually 123 right now. Runner going, and Story in safely this time. No question, nothing to review.
21 bags for Trev, and that time he went head first. Gets a jump. Rivera, strong throw, but Trevor just outran a quick glance. You know, with one strike on the batter, you got to give that quick glance to see what's happening.
Let's grab the bag and hold on.
Anymore, that's what it is, and it's tough to do with that mitt he has on the left hand to protect his thumb.
Parra again drives it to left field, and Young again will go back and make the catch. Now Story's going to try to run on him, and this is a heads-up play by Trevor. Again, EY does a lot of things well. His best attribute is his ability to run, obviously. Puts the ball in play typically. He just does not throw well.
No, with 3 balls tonight that have been squared up by Gerardo. And this is one way to get the runner over, by legging it out yourself. A stolen base and then advance on a fly ball to left to get into scoring position for Ian.
Got to get this run home.
You have to.
Desi, a fly ball to center and a strikeout. The infield comes in naturally for the Angels.
Desi was taking the whole way. He's open to hit a fly ball, especially in left field, because we've seen the arm already of Eric Young Jr. So you run on him. Trout, you got to be careful. Only if he's coming in side to side, you're fine. And the Calhoun's got the strongest arm of anybody out in the outfield. But I still think you take a chance with Trevor's speed.
No swing, 1-1. Desi's had so many big hits this year. He's got 74 RBIs.
Tried to throw it to the backstop. Second time this year that Ian has been a DH. This is the first time in his career he's even done been a DH.
48 hours though off the legs. Two and two.
With Matt DHing last night, Ian tonight, they've used 8 different players as a DH in 10 ball games at the Rockies. They're also hitting at a .324 average, which is 3rd best in the major leagues for the DH.
And usually the top 4, 5, 6 spots are always American League teams,
yes,
because they carry those types of players. 3-2. Ryan McMahon's on deck. Rocky's trying to manufacture a run. Infield hit, stolen base, moving up on a fly ball. Story 90 feet away. Rocky's up 2-1 as they bat in the 7th. And this is in the air to shallow left, but Young will make the play. Here comes Story, and that throw is way offline. Good job by Desmond. He gets the job done. Got it to the outfield, and the Rockies have a 2-run advantage again.
And he got
75 RBIs for Desi.
And he got it to the right guy, and it was the legs. How about this 90 feet that Trevor did? First it was a 90 feet to first base. The leg got a base hit. The 90 feet from first to second, stolen base. And 90 feet from second to third on the tag up in left field. And then the last 90.
That was a manufactured run if there ever was one. Outside on McMahon. And that is foul past Cole. Jenny told you earlier, Mac's little brother at Mississippi State now playing football.
I think they open up this weekend at home. Mississippi State does.
Yeah, I think everybody now this weekend opens up. It's week 1, last week 0 week.
I remember talking to Mac's parents maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they were talking about they were going to be going out there for that first football game.
That is on the ground to third. Ward's got it. And that'll end the inning. But Story, with a little help from Ian Desmond, has put the Rockies up by 2 again. It's 3-1.
Rocky's Tulo for sure. You know, he's one of my favorite players of all time. You know, just in the game generally. And you know, he mentored me a little bit, so definitely Tulo.
Yeah, Story emulated his game after Troy Tulowitzki, and of course we're celebrating Tulo all night as part of our Toyota Talk at 25. Speaking of Tulo, it just keeps going round and round. Story might have looked up to Tulo, but Tulo looked up to these greats, and this is a really cool painting that Tulo had commissioned from Vernon Wells Sr. Of course, Vernon Wells, the former Major League Baseball player's dad, has Nomar Garcia, Parra, Derek Jeter, Cal Ripken, and Alex Rodriguez. It's a really neat painting, and I think Huey, we were in the clubhouse, and Drew might have been there too, in Texas when he received this. I know it was an emotional moment for him just to kind of see him with all those great shortstops.
Well, that's a neat piece by Vernon Wells. What a heck of an artist. I've got a piece of his art in my house.
Yeah.
So I know his talent.
Yeah, we were there. I remember when
exactly.
Tula was pumped up when Vernon Sr. delivered that. A lot of ties to the Wells family, because Chris Iannetta is doing the catching tonight. He and Vernon Jr. very close and own a winery together, Jack Winery. Scott Oberg now out there. Freeland, 6 strong innings, and that is a strike. 1-2. It's 8-9-1 here in the bottom of the 7th for the Angels, with the Rockies up 3-1. Taylor Ward, Eric Young Jr., Cole Calhoun. Slider misses, 2-2. Kyle Freeland, solid as always. 6 innings, a run on 5 hits. He walked a couple and struck out 6. He now has an ERA of 2.90.
It's also the last 5 games that he's allowed 2 earned runs or less.
Outside, 3-2. You talk about knowing what you're going to get. And he continues to dominate the American League. Got a 181 ERA coming in over 7 starts.
I think if, there's an off day on Wednesday, but the Rockies have had to reshuffle the rotation a little bit. If Kyle would have had an extra day, because I think he's going to go on his normal, 5 days, that they might have tried to squeeze at least another half inning out of him, a couple outs, if not, a whole inning. But with 99 pitches, but I think too for Kyle, towards the end, you could see it looked like he was just starting to run out of gas a little bit.
Yeah, and Buddy was talking about this before the game, alluding to what you're talking about, and that is Kyle's going to pitch in San Diego. German Marquez is going to pitch in San Diego. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout from Oberg as he beats Taylor Ward there. And John Gray's going to pitch in San Diego. Because of the day off tomorrow, there's still a question mark who will pitch on Friday. But they may, Tyler Anderson's been scuffling a little bit. They may push him back to when the Giants come to town. Here's our Kubota pitching performance tonight. And once again, Kyle Freeland, terrific. 99 pitches. He controls the barrel. Talking about from an offensive side, controlling the barrel. He controls the offensive guy's barrel a lot. Guys just don't square him up frequently.
That's why he has the 9th lowest hard hit rate in the big leagues, just at 28.9%. Hard hit rates are balls above 95 miles an hour.
This is in the air to left. Parra will get back and make the catch, and Young's retired. We'll bring up Cole Calhoun. $35,207 tonight. We stood a 4.4 earthquake earlier in the ball game, and they haven't had much to cheer about, fortunately, because
that's okay.
Kyle Freeland's been terrific, and now 2 outs, nobody on. Calhoun to face Oberg.
There was a photo taken earlier today between Scott Oberg and the pitching coach Charles Nagy. Both of them are UConn alums, so they got their picture taken together. The guy they were missing in all of it, though, was the GM, Billy Epler, who's also from UConn. Billy couldn't come down out of the front office and jump into this photo.
Billy Epler, another guy from the Dan O'Dowd regime. So many tentacles back to Dan's regime. Billy worked for the Rockies organization, moved on to the Yankees, and now several years later, the general manager of the Angels. Of course, their previous general manager, Jerry DiPoto, ties to the Rockies. Done this before. There's a lot of guys out there. Thad Levine, John Daniels. Here's Billy.
We saw it earlier with Ryan Healy and Tyler Anderson. They got together for the University of Oregon photo.
Yeah. So 2 Connecticut Yankees at King Arthur's Court. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Though he doesn't throw it a ton. Notice Oberg presets his changeup each time. Then he goes to the glove. 2-2. Strike 3 at the top of the zone. Calhoun doesn't like it, but a great inning from Scott Oberg. He strikes out a pair, and we move to the 8th with the Rockies in front 3-1. Yeah, actually,
ask Vinny, not me.
Ask Vinny to drive one of his vehicles. Here's Jose Alvarez. Saw him yesterday. He's got a run off him, and he's ahead 0-1 on Iannetta. Chris, then Charlie Blackmon and DJ LeMahieu. 3-1 Rockies, top of 8. Two strikes on Iannetta.
It's just a normal day for Alvarez as far as talking about bullpen days. Well, he's almost an automatic coming out of the bullpen. 67 appearances for Alvarez.
No.
67 appearances. Tied for the Major League lead.
Down. 2-2. And Iannetta punches this to left. Young is there. 1 out.
Hey fans, if you've ever dreamed of becoming a Colorado Rocky, you can do that. Sign up for the fantasy camp now, taking place at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, January 28th through February 1st. Visit Rockies.com/fantasy camp for details.
We will be there.
Once again, wouldn't miss it.
It's the best. Spilly will be there. It's always a great group. It's a great group from the 07 to 09 range that show up every year. Josh Fogg,
Corey Sullivan,
Brian Fuentes, of course Corey, Garrett Atkins,
Jeff Francis.
Can't leave Boomer out, right? That's a strike. 0-2 on Charlie. 2 doubles tonight for Charlie.
Charlie lined out to first last night against Alvarez.
Two strikes on Charlie, 1 out. And this is a bouncer to first. That'll bring up DJ. He's lined out twice and hit a hard shot to the first baseman, Marte. Got nothing to show for 3 barrels tonight.
That's where he needs a bleeder. His broken bat, maybe a squibber that gets by an infielder.
And he hits a bullet again, knocks the glove off of Alvarez, and he's 0 for 4. Not loving baseball right now, other than he likes that his club's up 3-1. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th here in Anaheim. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. At the Big A in Anaheim, the former stomping grounds of one Jeff Houston. The Rockies up 3-1. Bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be David Fletcher, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols. Scott Oberg stays out on the mound. Remember, Ottavino, after throwing close to 30 pitches yesterday, is down, and it looks like Sung-Hwan Oh is down also. So Oberg trying to get this game to Wade Davis. Good pitch there, 1-1. Fletcher's got 2 hits, including the run-scoring single in the 5th, and he's got another hit. So that'll bring up Mike Trout.
Ran back in to Fletcher. Just a little runner, and Fletcher pulls the hands in. Gerardo thought for an instant that he'd be able to get it. Instead had to play it on the hop.
Trout 0 for 2 and a walk. Pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Arizona and San Francisco scoreless in the 8th inning. That was Bumgarner originally. That's a strike, 1-1. And Buchholz, Clay Buchholz. The Dodgers won their 4 straight. They won in Arlington tonight 8-4. Machado had 4 RBIs. Dozier hit another home run. What's interesting about that game, I'll tell you after this pitch. 1-1. This is in the air to center field, well hit. Charlie has a play in front of the wall. Tagging up is Fletcher. He'll go to second. A 400-foot out off the bat of the great Mike Trout. The crowd was all standing. They thought he had tied it up.
Well, good thing he didn't hit it more to the left as he's looking at the field, because it's only 396. Charlie had to go back into the little triangle area where it's as deep as it is in this ballpark, and he's within a foot of the wall. Because off the bat, we're thinking tied up.
Pujols 0 for 2 and a walk. Did he wave at that? No. So going back to that Dodger game, Dodgers won 8-4. So currently they're just a half game behind the Rockies and a game and a half out. There's the updated NL West standings pending the outcome of this one, and of course Arizona's game again, 0-0 with the Giants. Kenley Jansen threw to get work again in the 9th inning. It was 8-2 when he took the baseball. They scored 2 runs off him on 3 hits. That's 4 straight ball games. Dave Roberts has stayed away from the last couple of days, getting him a little bit more rest, but he's not right.
No, you know, when it's an 8-2 game, you bring in your closer like Jansen and he gives it up, then it's not good. But remember when the Dodgers were in Colorado, I said at that time when he went on the DL, you can't have a closer by committee. Doesn't work, and now he's struggling. I think that still puts the Dodgers in a hole. Nobody's crying for them, though.
Oh, that is going to move the runner to third. Old line of baseball, he threw a 58-foot curveball. That was more like a 48-foot breaking ball.
Second wild pitch tonight. One by Kyle, and now this one by Scott. That's just a hope and a prayer for Chris as he drops down to try to block it. I mean, you're just thinking, please hit the chest protector and just drop down. That one's on Scott.
2-2 on Pujols. He's going to get the run home on a deep fly ball to Charlie. And it's 3-2. It's a costly, wild pitch. 2 outs. '64th RBI for Pujols. Angelton Simmons takes ball 1. Well, O is up. And it may be one of those situations where Buddy was told, all right, you know what, I'm going to use you for 1 hitter here, potentially. Not a full inning. Obviously, Jake McGee on the left side also.
Well, Jake's for Ohtani when he
emerges from the dugout.
Yeah, if he were to come out, maybe hit for Rivera.
Sharply hit, but it's right at Trevor Story. He'll throw out Simmons. In the inning, there was a hit, and ultimately a run scored on a sac fly by Pujols. It's a 1-run game again going to the 9th. Points you guys were making in the studio. Kyle Freeland's ERA, 2.56 in May, 3.03 in June, 2.54 in July, 2.27 before the game in August. That'll go down slightly.
Yeah, 5 games in May, 5 games in June, 5 in July, 6 here in August.
Let's see if the Rockies can get that run back, maybe others. Cargo will lead it off, 3, 4, and 5. The closer in Anaheim these days is Blake Parker, and he did not see action yesterday, so he's going to come on here for the 58th time this year. He's got a dozen saves. This is a situation where Mike Scioscia on a bullpen day is asking Parker to keep it a 1-run game. Spikes that pitch. Cargo tonight, a 2-run home run, a pop out, and a walk. And it's 2-0.
Well, now it's Wade Davis. Oh, sitting down, Jake McGee, and Wade's getting ready for the 9th.
It'll be in the bottom portion of the lineup. At some point, Ohtani's going to come off that bench. 3-0. They'll have Rivera, Marte, and Taylor Ward scheduled. And at the top of the zone, 3-1. Cargo's getting ready to toss the bat, go to first. And this is on the ground to second. Fletcher will throw out Gonzalez. 1 out in the 9th.
Fans looking to come out to a game, there's always great Rockies ticket deals available. Bookmark Rockies.com/specials and check back throughout the remainder of the season.
Nolan looking for his first hit in this little 2-game series. His last time up, he had runners at first and third with 2 outs, and he absolutely ripped the baseball. The problem was he was right at David Fletcher. He had to jump a little bit. Otherwise, it would have scored a run. That's in the dirt.
This is the now 36 one-run game that the Rockies have been playing in. Seems that like 35 of them come in the last 2 months.
Right, and the Rockies are good in one-run games, 22 and 13. One of the better marks in the National League in tight contests.
Look at those 4 teams, not take Miami out of that, but all 4 of those are battling for a playoff spot.
Foul territory, first base line, and into the Rockies dugout. The Rockies go down the road after the ball game to begin a series on Thursday against the Padres. Padres won tonight over Seattle 2-1. They'll have another game with Seattle tomorrow night. One of those semi-frequent occurrences where a team's sitting there waiting to play a team that's at home and playing another team still. Happens a little bit during the season.
Yeah, the lefty Lucchesi is pitching tomorrow for San Diego.
Just heard that Eric Lauer is going to come up and pitch against the Rockies on Thursday. This ball's hit a ton to left. It is foul.
Nolan didn't even get out of the box. He just stood there knowing it was going to hook foul.
Blake Parker went to Fayetteville High School in Arkansas and stayed in town. Went to the University of Arkansas. And Nolan swings and misses. Can he get to first? Rivera, no play. So a strikeout, wild pitch, and Nolan's at first with 1 out for Story.
Spike pitch, it gets through the legs of Rivera. He thought about throwing it, but Jeffrey Marte threw up his hand saying, don't do it. Now use it.
Rockies have only 5 hits tonight, nursing a 1-run lead.
left a couple guys on, and that was, both of those came in the 6th inning after Nolan had lined out.
And Parker delivers fastball on the outside corner. It's 2 strikes.
I'm sure Tony Diaz at first just told Nolan, be ready for a ball down in the dirt. See Parker spike some.
Rivera blocked that one. Parker at Arkansas was a two-way guy. He was actually drafted as a position player. Hit 224, and they said, hey, well, pitch.
Probably a wise move for him then. He's in the big leagues now.
That's hit a long way, foul. Did that glance off the roof?
Maybe a light standard. I think it did.
Trevor strikes out. 2 gone. Nolan still standing at first base. That'll bring up Parra. Again, Davis in the 9th. It's Rivera, Marte, and Ward scheduled 6, 7, and 8. The game will not end without Ohtani taking a swing.
No, I think he might hit either first or second to lead off that inning, because you got Coward to hit for Ward. So Wade's gonna see a couple left-handers.
The interesting thing about Ohtani from Scioscia's perspective, following up on your thought, as opposed to waiting, he may fire him early, because if it remains a 1-run game, he could tie it up with 1 swing. But if he reaches, he has great speed.
Yeah, that's why I think he might hit first next inning, if not first, second for sure.
Parra has hit 3 balls to the left fielder Eric Young Jr. tonight. 1-1 the count. 33-year-old Blake Parker. I haven't talked about it, but there's a possibility Mike Scioscia takes it to the house after this year. That's a strike. He put down earlier reports this year in a piece by a very well-respected Ken Rosenthal, and said it was poppycock, which was an interesting adjective to use. But his 10-year deal comes to an end at the end of this season.
I think he has the respect of Artie and the rest of the group here, that, you know, they'll have that conversation. They'll sit down and say, what do you think?
Two and two, or actually 1-2. There's only one coach in the 4 major sports that has been in one place longer, and that's the
Pop.
Yeah, great Greg Popovich with the Spurs. Scioscia's won over 1,600 games, 18th all time. Has a ring from 2002.
like the note at the bottom of this graphic, we're getting ready to show just one of 17 to win a World Series as both a player and as a manager.
88 Dodgers. Arenado at first, 1-2 again. And again, a foul ball by Gerardo.
It's kind of set up now for Gerardo. If he gets that curveball where he pulls it and rips it down in the corner, in the right field corner, that would allow Nolan to score.
This one is towards Fletcher, and that's all for the Rockies. They have a 3-2 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Wade Davis will try to close it out. Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Here we go. Bottom of the ninth inning. The Rockies trying to snap a little 2-game losing streak. They're up 3-2. They have Wade Davis on the mound. And Wade Davis will see Shohei Ohtani. No, he's on deck. I thought they were having a pinch hit here. It was unclear. It's going to be Rene Rivera and then Shohei Ohtani. He's going to pinch hit for Marte.
The Rockies and Wade Davis looking for a no-drama ninth here. Wade in his last 6 games, 6 innings, 2 hits allowed, no runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 3 for 3 in save opportunities.
So Wade is fresh. He's ready to go. Rivera is 0 for 3, and he swings and misses, 0-1.
Wade's only thrown 11 pitches in the last week.
So very fresh. That's fouled off, 2 strikes. Wade's a native of Florida who makes his home in New York. Usually with baseball players, it works the other way around. Well, he grew up in New York and then he moved south, so he could be outside year-round and train. Wade lives upstate with his family. One and two. There you go. He did. He knows he's gone. That's a great pitch by Davis. Rivera's gone. 1 out.
I think it's a better block by Chris.
Keep it around. You're right.
I mean, this pitch didn't even get to 58.5 feet. Rivera's swinging at it. And Chris catches it. Doesn't even have to go tag him. Waits till he gets partially back to the dugout. Now it's Ohtani, who's 6 for 18 as a pinch hitter on the season.
Can't look at a 44 in an Angels uniform with Rivera going off and not think of Reggie. Here we go. Ohtani against Davis. Shift on, 1 out. Rockies up 3-2 in the 9th. He hit a 3-run homer yesterday. Breaking ball makes him dance. It's 1-0.
Ohtani 276, 15 home runs, 43 RBIs. There's the shift on the Subaru Statcast.
And it's 2-0.
Mentioned the numbers as a batter for Ohtani. That's what he's done as a pitcher. And again, hasn't pitched since June 6th.
Two and one.
He was cheating, trying to just pull one into the seats in right field.
Well, Wade made sure he got it in off the plate.
Well, we saw what can happen when he gets his arms extended, hitting that 3-run home run off of John last night.
Yeah, he's got tremendous plate coverage. His hands are kind of hanging over the inside corner as it is. 3-1.
Because the hands hang over the plate, he's got a pad on the outside part of his right batting glove to protect his hand.
The most noise this crowd has made all night. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed. 3-2.
Dialed it up to 95. Trying to stay inside to alleviate the arms being able to get extended. They got under the hands. Make one more pitch in there again.
Chris wants slider in. Now they finally agree on a curveball. 3-2. Got him. Ball gets away. Ionetta's got to fire it to first. On the money, 2 outs. Great job by Chris Ionetta, blocking the ball in the dirt and then scampering and firing a strike to get a guy who can really move in Shohei Ohtani.
This is 2 blocks and 2 strikeouts for Chris. This one more difficult because you had the speed and Ohtani takes off. The other one, Chris had to just stay there, and then he fired on the money to Ryan for an all-important second out and keep the speed of Ohtani off the bases.
2 gone in the 9th, 3-2 Colorado. Here's Taylor Ward, 0 for 3 tonight, a couple of strikeouts. And he takes strike 1. A reminder, who wants tacos? Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 runs or more in a game. 1 strike on Ward. 1 ball, 1 strike now. One, and that breaking ball's fouled straight back, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Wade's pitch away. Wade looking for his 36th save, Huey. The club record's 41, shared by Jose Jimenez back in '02, and last year Greg Holland.
I know the guys are just focused right now on getting this 3rd strike. D-backs and Giants are nothing going to the bottom of the 9th.
Here's the 1-2. He let it eat there. Trying to get him to chase the fastball up. 2-2. Davis meticulous in his approach. Didn't show much emotion on the mound. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. You look at closers the last half-dozen years in the big leagues, and Wade Davis right at the top of the food chain. Three and 2 on Ward. He's got him. Ball game over. Rockies win it 3-2 here at Anaheim. Kyle Freeland gets the victory. 6 beautiful innings again from Freeland to go with the .290 ERA. He's now 12-7. Ramirez, one of 37 pitchers tonight for the Angels, took the loss. He's 4-5. And Wade Davis with his 36th save. And the Rockies finished 13-7 against the American League this year. And they'll enjoy that day off as the Rockies now improved to 72-60. Snapped a little 2-game slide. All's well here on the West Coast tonight for Colorado. Again, the final score, the Rockies 3, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and the Angels 2. To our Denver studios, and here are the 2 seeds, guys, all yours.